Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Vocational Education and Training, SOVET, Diploma in Fashion Design and Retail Program, DFDR. BFD 074 Communication and Entrepreneurship. Block-1 Social Skills in Business Communication. Unit-3 Language and Culture. 3.0 Objectives. In this unit we will take a look at the relationship of language and culture and develop an understanding of the role of language in multicultural settings. 2. Facilitate this you will learn about popular languages of the world and the relative positioning of the English language. The role and importance of the English language. Language and culture. The importance of language and culture in the context of BPOs. Indianisms in English. Foreign words, terms popularly used in English. American and British English. Culturally appropriate language. Politeness and culture. Preparing for cross-cultural communication. 3.1 Warm UP. Those who know nothing of foreign languages know nothing of their own. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Language is the roadmap of a culture. It tells you where its people came from and where they are going. Rita Mae Brown. We work today in multicultural settings. Here are some questions that this brings to mind. Do you think it is important to know the language of the people you work with? To what extent does an understanding of the cultural background of people around you help in better communication with them? Have you noticed that even when people use a common language for communication, for example English, the way they use the language differs because of their native culture? In this unit we will take a close look at how culture impacts upon the way people from different countries use the English language. 3.2 Reading. Activity 1. 1. Read the following text on languages and fit the suitable information into the table below. There are about 200 languages that have a million or more native speakers. Mandarin Chinese is the most common, being spoken by around 874,000,000 people as a native language. About 366 million people speak Hindi in India. English is a distant third with approximately 341 million native speakers. Spanish is spoken by approximately 322-358 million people. If the 15 major variants of Arabic are considered one language, Arabic is the sixth most common language in the world, having 198-201 million native speakers with substantial numbers in at least 46 countries. Now match your table with the one given in the key. Were you surprised by what you learnt about the number of people who use English in the world? Is it more or less than what you expected? If English is not the language spoken by majority of the people in the world, why is it the international language of trade and commerce? 2. Language of comparisons. 3.2.1 You may find the answers to some of the above questions here. Read the text on the English language that follows and answer the questions given at the end. English is far more worldwide in its distribution than all other spoken languages. It is an official language in 52 countries as well as many small colonies and territories. In addition, 1/4 to 1/3 of the people in the world understand and speak English to some degree. It has become the most useful language to learn for international travel and is now the de facto language of diplomacy. In 2001, the 189 member countries in the United Nations were asked what language they wish to use for communication with embassies from other countries. More than 120 chose English, 40 selected French, and 20 wanted to use Spanish. Those who wanted English to be the common language included all of the former Soviet republics, Vietnam, and most of the Arab world. English is also the dominant language in electronic communication, particularly on the internet. However, the percentage of internet users who are not native English speakers is increasing rapidly, especially in Asia. 3.3 Grammar, linkers. In any piece of writing, the ideas, the arguments, details and facts are logically related by using certain words and phrases called linkers or connectors. The words, phrases that most often function as linkers, connectors are either definite article they, personal pronouns, we, are, you, he, his, her, it, they, etc., E. Demonstrative pronouns, these, that, etc. IV conjunctions, and, or, but, yet, etc. We other words and phrases, first, meanwhile, later, on the other hand. As a result, therefore, in fact, etc. Check your progress 1. Some important link words are missing from this text on culture and communication. Try to complete the text on your own by inserting the missing words. If necessary, you may take help from the words given in the box at the end. People from different cultures speak the same language differently. 1. Blank, they encode and decode messages differently, the chances of misunderstanding are higher. 2. Blank, it becomes essential to recognize and understand cultural differences. It is wrong to assume. 3. Blank, underscore everyone's thoughts and actions should be just like ours. 4. Blank, attitude is harmful for both the communicator. 5. Blank, the receiver of the message. The way people communicate varies widely between 6. Blank, underscore within cultures. 7. Blank, aspect of communication style is language usage. Across cultures, some words and phrases are used in different ways. 8. Blank, even in countries that share the English language, the meaning of yes varies from maybe, I'll consider it to definitely so, with many shades in between. It is essential that people research the cultures and communication conventions of those 9. Blank, they propose to meet, interact with over the telephone or write to. 10. Blank, will minimize the risk of making the elementary mistakes. 11. Blank, underscore language skills are unequal, clarifying one's meaning in these ways will improve communication. I avoid using slang and idioms, choosing words. 12. Blank, will convey only the most specific meaning. E. Listen carefully and 13. Blank, in doubt, ask for confirmation of understanding, particularly important if local accents and pronunciation are a problem. E. Recognize 14. Blank, accenting and intonation can cause meaning to vary significantly. I. We respect the local communication formalities and styles. 15. Blank. Watch for any changes in body language. That, whom and because. When, if, hence, this. As well as one, for example, and even. 3.4 Listening. Activity 4. 1. Listen to speaker talking to you about the use of English language in multicultural settings. What does he illustrate with the help of these 2 examples? You may listen to the audio twice if needed. 2. Now listen to the audio again and do as directed. I. Why is it essential for people in the BPO sector to be culturally sensitized? E. Why is there a possibility of misunderstanding even when people speak the same language? E. Who, according to the speaker, is more direct and to the point? An Indian or a Westerner? 3.5 Language focus. 3.5.1 Indianism. Indians speak countless languages and each of these languages has its own grammar. Accordingly, Indians from different parts of India, especially those who learnt another language before English, speak English as a translation of their own mother tongue using the same grammatical rules. Hence we have a host of so-called Indianisms that are popularly used. Some of these are given in the next activity. Activity 5. Write the correct form of these expressions in the adjoining column so that they are correct and acceptable, particularly in societies and cultures where English is the first language. The first one is done for you. Indianism correct expression. I. Are you liking it? Do you like it? E. Let us discuss about this. E. He does this always. IV. I only told him to come early. We do it fast. We. May I know your good name? We. I simply love to watch cricket. We. My mother is in the teaching line. X. I am %% sure. X. Can you repeat it again, please? 3.5.2 Words of Indian origin in the English language. With a culture and heritage as variegated and rich as India is, it is not surprising that the English language absorbed as many as 500 words and continues to do so even today. Many of these words have now found their way into English dictionaries because they have become an accepted part of the English language. Activity 6. The Oxford English Dictionary currently has 700 words of Indian origin. Can you think of at least 10 such words? You could look for them in a dictionary or on the internet. Now compare your find with what is given in the key. How many common words did you find? 3.5.3 Foreign words in the English language. A number of foreign words are frequently used in English. This is because of the impact of one culture on another. Take a close look at the table and note the origin and meaning of these expressions. Foreign words origin meaning: 1. Ad hoc Latin unplanned. 2. Ad infinitum Latin endlessly. 3. Bete nova French something that you hate or find annoying. 4. Bona fide Latin genuine or real. 5. Carte blanche French complete power to do exactly as you wish. 6. Faux pas French socially embarrassing action or mistake. 7. Status quo Latin situation that exists at a particular time, without any changes. 8. Rendezvous French any type of meeting. 9. Aficionado Spanish a person who likes a particular sport, activity or subject very much and knows a lot about it. 10. Chic French very fashionable and elegant. 3.5.4 American versus British English. Activity 8. Here are some sentences that Americans may find difficult to understand. Can you identify the words that they may be unfamiliar with and substitute them with the ones they commonly use? I go down the corridor and turn to the left. You will find the lifts to your right. The head office is on the crossing of Baker Street and Freeman Avenue. Brinjols are rich in iron. You can issue books from the library on all 7 days of the week. We people in US mostly travel by private vehicles. We in India the railway tracks usually have manned crossing. I need to use your bathroom please. I think we should serve some biscuits with tea. I need to go to a chemist store to buy some medicines. Can I have the bill please? Did you know that the first floor in England, India is the second floor in USA? That is because they refer to the ground floor as the first floor. Sweet biscuits are cookies in America whereas thin ones are crackers. And you thought crackers were fireworks. In America you don't stand for a public office but run for it. The first year undergraduates in the US are called freshmen, second year sophomore, third year junior and the fourth year senior. In a restaurant you ask for a check and not a bill. In the US you receive mail and not post, and the man who brings it is the mailman and not a postman. Activity 9. Now write down the American equivalents of these words. You may need to use them while talking to, dealing with American visitors or clients in business or social situations. British American: 1. Sweets, 2. Spring onion, 3. Capsicum, 4. Trousers, 5. Vest, 6. Dinner jacket, 7. Dressing gown, 8. Cupboard, 9. City center, 10. Diversion, 11. Lorry, 12. Postal code, 13. Torch, 14. Banknote, 15. Autumn, 16. Goggles, 17. Petrol station, 18. Tap, 19. Pavement, 20. Rubbish, 3.6. Speaking. Activity 10. Imagine that an American client is talking to you about her car which was repaired in your garage after she had an accident. In your conversation, you have made some slip-ups by using words that she might be unfamiliar with. Substitute them with suitable words. Practice this conversation with a partner. Client: good morning, this is Amanda Rocks. You: good morning Ems Rocks. What can I do for you? Client: I'm calling about my Honda Accord which was with you for repairs last week. You: yes, I hope the vehicle is doing well. What would you like to tell me about it? Client: the trunk of the car doesn't always lift up when I push the button. What do I need to do to get it fixed? You: I'm sorry to hear about the problem. If you can reconfirm your address, we will have someone come over and fix it for you. Client: it's 14 Johor Bagh in South Delhi. Can you tell me when I should expect the person? I need to be around at the time. You: would Wednesday afternoon suit you? Say between 3 and 4 p.m. Client: that should be alright. You: and what about the bonnet and the windscreen? Are they doing alright now? Client: yes, thank you. You: goodbye then, Ems Rocks. And have a nice day. Client: goodbye. Note that the client uses the word trunk instead of boot, British, or dicky. Indian. The right combination of courtesy and professionalism are an important part of communication in the West. Here are some statements that may sound alright in the Indian context but would not be suitable while talking to a person from the West. First of all, write the appropriate statements in the spaces below and then practice them with a partner. 3.7 Writing. Activity 12. 1. Write down at least 3 tips on preparation that would be helpful before you begin interacting with someone from a different culture. Now match your tips with the ones given in the key 2 in his book, The Cultural Politics of English as an International Language. Alistair Pennycook, 1994, writes, English media from developed countries have penetrated the media of developing nations. This essentially one-way flow of information erodes the national sovereignty, cultural identity, and political independence of developing nations. Write an analysis of this statement. To what extent do you agree with Pennycook? 3.8 Pronunciation, foreign words. Please repeat the foreign words which are used in the English language after the teacher. Foreign words origin meaning. 1. Ad hoc Latin unplanned. 2. Ad infinitum Latin endlessly. 3. Bete novo French something that you hate or find annoying. 4. Bona fide Latin genuine or real. 5. Carte blanche French complete power to do exactly as you wish. 6. Faux pas French socially embarrassing action or mistake. 7. Status quo Latin situation that exists at a particular time without any changes. 8. Rendezvous French any type of meeting. 9. Aficionado Spanish a person who likes a particular sport, activity or subject very much and knows a lot about it. 10. Chic French very fashionable and elegant. 3.9 Let US Sum UP. In this unit you learnt about statistics on popular languages of the world and the relative positioning of the English language. The reasons for the choice of the English language by the international community. The importance and complexity of the relationship between language and culture. The significance of an understanding of language and culture in the context of BPOs. Indianisms in English and the need for correction. Foreign words, terms popularly used in English. Some popularly used American vocabulary and British equivalents. The need for culturally appropriate language for effective communication. Polite language and its association with culture. How to prepare for cross-cultural communication. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video with the next chapter.